Bonjour. Hi guys and welcome back to FrenchYard. Here in this video today we are going to do a very important topic of French, that is les articles. Articles in French is one of the most important topic and is most problematic as well. Majority of the students find it difficult to recognize the genders of the words, and because it's difficult to understand, so sometimes they put a masculine word into feminine category and feminine into masculine. So in this lecture today, we are going to learn certain tricks that are really going to help you understanding the concept of articles. So by the end of this video, for sure you will be able to understand at least 70% of the words and you will put them in the right genders. These two categories basically they do not exist in French. Yeah, but we have solved them, we have put them, tried them on many of the words. So I would say yeah, 70 to 80% or 90% words you will be able to put them in the right category. And as we know, exceptions are always there. So exceptions we just need to memorize, and by the passage of time we can do them. So without wasting time, let's get started, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. So let's start with the topic. Now everybody knows we have majorly three types of articles in French. The first category is les articles définis, means the definite articles. The definite articles mean the in French, like we know the red pen, that is the, and is of four types in French. One is le, then feminine la, vowel l apostrophe le, and the plural les les. Apart from this, we have second article, that is les articles indéfinis, means the indefinite articles, and they are masculine un, feminine une, then we have vowel a, and plural they. And the third one is some. So we have masculine some, du, feminine the la, vowel we have the le, and we have the fourth category, that is plural they. So let's quickly recall them. We have three types of articles. The first is définis, second indéfinis, and the third is participe. So definite article définis, that is the in French, and is of further four types: masculine le, feminine la, vowel le, and plural les. Similarly, undefinite article, which stands for a and an in French, and is again further of four types. One is masculine a, feminine une, then we have vowel a, and plural they. The third category is some, which basically stands for participe articles. Participe articles are also called uncountable articles, like the things which are uncountable. Like I want some fruits, I want some sugar in the tea. So you don't know how much sugar exactly you want. It's some, uncountable. It's further of four types: masculine, du, feminine, the la, vowel, the le, and plural, they. Okay, now let's move how to conjugate a word into correct category of French. I have taken the example of a word. Okay, so how to take a word into correct category. Now for example, I have taken a word as example, which is sac. I'm going to take example and I'm going to apply the rules. I would like to repeat it that these rules do not exist in French. Ideally, if you will read a grammar book or any website of French, you will not find these rules written anywhere. But these rules are practically workable on French. If you will apply them, they will be applied. Okay, so my first rule says if the last word ends with SXZ, then it is plural. I am going to consider the word sac. The last alphabet is C, it is not SXZ. So means this word we are not going to put it in plural category. Second rule says if the first alphabet is A, E, I, O, U, H, then I am going to put it in vowel category. Now if I see the first alphabet is S, it is not vowel, so the second rule is also violated. Rule number 3 says if the last alphabet is E, then I am going to put it in feminine category, which says no, because the last alphabet is E. Now because all the rules are violated, so rule 4 says if no rule, masculine. So because the word sac is not following any of the rules, I am going to put it in masculine category. which states that the word sack is a masculine word. And if I have to put the, then I'm going to pick the masculine the. Let's get back to the table and see the masculine the is lo. So I am going to say, if I have to write the bag. Now if I have to write the bag, then it will be le sack. If I have to write a bag, then it is going to be a sack, because the gender of the word sack is male. Let's take one more example. I am going to take example porth. The word is porth. Rule number first says if the last alphabet SXZ, so plural. Now the last alphabet is E, means it is not plural. If the first alphabet is A, E, I, O, U, H, then it is vowel. So you can see that the first alphabet is not, it's P, so it is not vowel. Rule 3, if the last alphabet is E, then it is feminine. Now we can see that rule 3 says if the last alphabet is E, then it is feminine. And it's true, the last alphabet is E. So I am going to put this word into feminine category. Means if I have to write the gate, so French will say la porte. Ideally, French language says that whenever you want to learn the genders, learn the words with their genders as well. La porte. Do not learn door as porte. Learn the word with the genders, and genders are very confusing. But these tricks will really help you putting at least 70% of the words in the right genders. If you are done with the 70%, your burden is reduced and you can spend that same energy learning just 30% of the words. Now, if I say, I'm saying again and again 70%, means which 30% words we do not prefer to put in the same category. There are certain words that do not follow these rules, and which 30% are theirs. Let's go and read them. Now in the 30% list, we just call them exceptions, or you can say that important words. First is all the living beings do not follow under these rules. It says that all the living beings on the planet, on the earth, we cannot judge their gender on the basis of rules. We know the genders of living beings. For example, take a word père. The word père in French means father. Now, because this word is ending in E, that doesn't mean that I am going to put this word in female category. Because according to the rule, if the last alphabet is E, it has to be female. But that's not true. We know that père is father and father is a male person. Same like we have a word frère. The word frère although ends with E, but that doesn't mean it is a female word. It means brother. Brother is a male person. Then we have a word sœur. Sir in French means sister. Now this word is not following any rule and it has to be according to the rules. It should go in the masculine category, but it is not going, which says that all the living beings, they might be violating the rules, and almost every living being violates the rule. So in that case, we need to understand that genders of the living beings slowly and steadily, when we will be familiar with the vocabulary, we will be able to learn them. So we are not supposed to learn the words with their genders. We can just use the tricks to complete at least 70% of the words. And with passage of time, when you will be aware of many of the vocabulary in French, and you know the living beings like père is father, frère is brother, sœur is sister, so you will be able to put them in the right category, which says the accuracy will increase from 70% to 80%. Now, the second, if the world follow two rules at one time, we will go according to the priority list. Now, I'll take a word as an example. The word arbre. The word arbre, it is starting with A, so it comes in vowel. It ends with E, so it is coming in feminine category as well. But according to the priority list that we set, the first word has to be in plural, second in vowel, third feminine, and fourth is masculine. So because vowel is numbered second, so we are going to consider it as a vowel, and female we are not going to consider it. So if the word, you have to check the priority list. If your word comes in first priority, like the category that comes first, if the word falls in the first one, keep it there only. Now let's take one more example, the word oesu. The word oesu, it ends with SXZ. means it is falling under plural category. Number second, we have to consider the rule of vowel. It starts with O, A, E, I, O, U, H. So it's starting with O, means it is falling under vowel category as well. Now because my priority goes to plural, so I'm going to put it in plural and vowel. We are not going to consider it. So that means another 90%, the accuracy is going to increase to 90% because you will understand that if a word follows two rules at one time, we will give preference to the priority list. And at last, we have some words are typically exceptions. There are certain words in French which are typically exceptions and they do not follow any rule. Means a word, for example, maison. If I see the word maison, the meaning of the word is house. And if I consider it in the rules, it is going to come in masculine category. So by meaning or by the rules, nowhere I was able to judge that this word is a female word. We say ma maison, as this word is female. So what does it mean? That this maison is a typical exception that you have to memorize or you have to learn. And the best way to learn and memorize the exceptions is that slowly and steadily keep on using them again and again. When you are learning French, please make sure that you are framing these sentences that contains maximum exceptions. La maison, ma maison, la radio, so that when you will use them on daily basis, you will understand that these are the exceptions and they do not follow the rule and you cannot judge their genders. So, at nutshell, the moral of the story says that when we are going to learn the articles, first of all, we are going to consider the rules, which means that approximately 70% of the vocabulary will follow these rules and we can learn them. After that, we know once we will be aware with the living beings and we know the meanings of the words, we can do their genders as well. Means the accuracy is enhanced to 80%. And the next 10% which says they follow two rules at one time, so you can put the word into correct category and it is going to give you another 10% of accuracy, means add 10% more to your accuracy. So the final accuracy is 90%. Means if you will follow these tricks, at least your 90% words will fall into the right category and the rest 10% we can memorize and we can practice. If you have liked the video, do drop us a message in the comment box so that we can send you an exercise that is particularly based on the articles. And if not, you can try certain words, you can use these tricks and can enhance your skills of writing and French speaking. Merci beaucoup.